हरिप्रिये वाञ्छा कल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्यैव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। अनंत कोटि वैष्णव वृंद की जय, शिला प्रभुपाद की जय। All right, so we are going to start from. Can you all see my screen?
Yes, Mataji.
So I'm going to start, read a little bit, and then Mataji, if you could just, if you could just call out on the next person, that will be awesome. It was not possible for Abhay to travel with his spiritual master or even to see him often. His pharmaceutical business kept him busy and he traveled frequently. Whenever possible, however, he tried to time a business trip to Calcutta when his spiritual master was also there. Thus, over the next 4 years, he managed to see his spiritual master perhaps a dozen times. Whenever Abhay visited Calcutta, the assistant librarian at the Gaudiya Math, Nityananda Brahmachari, would meet him at Howrah train station with a two-horse carriage belonging to the Math. Nityanand saw Abhay as an unusually humble and tolerant person. As they rode together to the Math, Abhay would inquire eagerly into the latest activities of Srila Bhakti Siddhanta, his traveling, his publishing, how many centers were currently open, how his disciples were doing. They wouldn't talk much about Abhay's business. Abhay would stay at the Gaudiya Math, usually for about 5 days. Sometimes he would visit one of his sisters who lived in Calcutta. But his main reason for coming was Srila Bhakti Siddhant, and Abhay would take advantage of every opportunity to hear him. Yes. Who would like to go next, Mataji? Hare Krishna, Mataji.
Mataji, I can read?
Yeah, please.
Sorry, Mataji, I was on mute.
Go ahead, Mataji.
You go ahead, Mataji. I will.
No, Mataji, you go ahead.
No, Mataji.
I'll go after you. After you.
I lost the track, Mataji. Please go ahead.
It's Abhay did. Abhay didn't try to become a leader.
Is my screen probably visible, properly visible, Mataji?
Yeah.
Yes,
Mataji,
yes.
I cannot comment because I'm using my other phone for the reading.
Okay.
Did you find Mataji?
Yes, we can see Mataji.
Okay, Mataji, go ahead.
Yeah. Thank you, Mataji. Hare Krishna. Abhay didn't try to become a leader in the inner management of the Gaudiya Math. His spiritual master had initiated 18 sannyasis who carried out most of the preaching and leadership of the mission. Abhay was always the householder, occupied with his own business and family, never living within the matha except for brief visits. And yet he began to develop a close relationship with his spiritual master. Sometimes Abhay would go to see him at the Chaitanya Math, at the birthplace of Lord Chaitanya in Mayapur. One day at the Chaitanya Math, Abhay was in the courtyard when a large poisonous snake crawled out in front of him. Abhay called out for his god brothers, but when they came, everyone simply stood looking uncertain what to do. Srila Bhaktisiddhanta came out on the veranda of the second floor, glanced down, saw the snake, and immediately ordered, "Kill it." A boy then took a large stick and killed the snake. Srila Prabhupada, so I thought, how is it that Guru Maharaj ordered the snake to be killed? I was a little surprised. But later on, I saw this verse, and then I was very glad. Modeta sadhur api vrishchika sarpa hatya. Even saintly persons take pleasure in the killing of a scorpion or a snake. It had remained a doubt how Guru Maharaj ordered the snake to be killed. But when I read this verse, I was very much pleased that this creature or a creatures like the snake should not be shown any mercy. Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati was reputed to be a austere and so strong in argument against other philosophies that even his own disciples were curious in approaching him if he were sitting alone or if had no specific business with him. Yet, even though Abhay's contact with him was quite limited, Srila Bhaktisiddhanta would always treat him kindly. Hare Krishna. Mataji, please go ahead.
Hare Krishna. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Srila Prabhupada, there's some work going on in the house, so there's some background noise, but sorry about that. Srila Prabhupada, whenever I met my Guru Maharaj, he would falsely, he would always treat me very affectionately. Sometimes my god brothers would criticize because I would take, I would talk a little freely with him, and they would quote this English saying, "Fools rush in where angels fear to tread." But I would think fools, well, maybe, but that is the way I am. My Guru Maharaj was always very, very affectionate to me. When I offered obeisances, he used to return, Daso Asmi, I am your servant. Just let me know when to stop, Mataji. Um, PremNandini Mataji, for the next reader. Sometimes, as Srila Bhakti Siddhanta paced back and forth, chanting the Hare Krishna mantra aloud while fingering his beads, Abhay would enter the room and also chant, walking alongside his spiritual master. Once, when Abhay entered Srila Bhaktisiddhanta's room, his spiritual master was sitting on a couch, and Abhay took his seat beside him on an equal level. But then he noticed that all the other disciples in the room were sitting on the lower level at their spiritual master's feet. Abhay kept his seat, and Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati said nothing of it. But Abhay never again sat on an equal level with his spiritual master.
Mataji will take a
Yeah.
pause here.
Sure,
Anybody would
sure.
like to share any points that stood out to them or anything that you would like to share from this was a very powerful section, and yeah. So
Hare
anyone?
Krishna Mataji. So I was, yeah, I was just remembering when Duryodhan and Arjun went to meet Lord Krishna, and
Mhm.
Duryodhan sat on his head at the same on his head near his head, and Arjun at his feet. So I think where one sits, is very important. That's how I think. Thank you, Mataji.
Mhm. Anything else? To me, I'm gonna share what stood out to me. I think the section of where it said Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati ordered his disciple to kill the snake, right? And I was thinking about yesterday, we were listening to a class where the speaker he mentioned the section in uh, from the war battlefield of Kurukshetra, where not even they, at that time, but even quite before that, how Krishna crossed all limits, like in the sense of general material perspective, we can say that Krishna broke the principles of dharma, or Krishna lied, but he did all of that to save his devotee from, and to make sure that his devotee he comes out victorious at the end of the war. And the one most important and a significant person in that war was Karna, and he was the one who was capable of defeating Arjuna. And how the Lord did, like, I'm not sure how many of you know, but I'm sure you all know, but if you remember, I mean, that when like Krishna goes to Karna and he tells him, like, you should Duryodhana is an evil person, you shouldn't be siding on his side, and Yudhishthira will, he's a very pious king, if you come to Pandava's side, he will make sure that you get the right share of whatever should be given to you, he is a righteous king. But Karna is not willing to give in. Like, he says, no, I'm like, he is my friend, I can do anything for my friend. So eventually, to bring Karna to the side of Pandavas, Krishna reveals the most secret matter in Mahabharata, which is Karna is Kunti's son. He tells him that Pandavas are actually your brothers, and but still, Karna decides to stay on the side of um, um, uh, Duryodhana. And towards the end of the war, we know that Karna is like Karna. There's a setup where Karna gets to meet Kunti, and he's forced into, like, not like some anyone forces him, but uh, by the divine arrangement, the situation is such that he ends up promising Kunti Mata that your five sons will always remain alive. He never says that I'm not gonna kill Arjuna or Bhima. He just says that at the end of the war, mom, I promise you that your five children will remain alive. So, and we know that Karna was killed when he didn't have his weapon in his hand, and Krishna says, Arjuna, just kill him. So, at many places we see that Krishna, to save his devotee, he can order to kill, or order to do anything, to he will get to any extent to protect his devotee. So that was one point that I just went back into yesterday's class, and I just found a connection. If there's anything else anyone would like to share, please go ahead, or we can move on.
No, Mataji, I wanted to ask you, like, from the reference of what we are reading, maybe it's like a question, the snake we are killing, right? But the
Mhm.
point is sometimes there are mosquitoes, they also kind of, and there are these dengue who can give you fever and you can die also.
Mhm.
So, and there is obviously they dig into you and all that, so
Yeah.
is it appropriate to even kill them if they're coming and biting on you?
Yeah, based on this section, I would say, yeah, if there's anything that's gonna hurt your well-being and
Yeah.
interfere with your services, it is definitely we should try. Like, I can give you example of what we do. Like, we get these big black ants in our house, so we actually catch them in big jars and we throw them out. But like, if we are in India, we can protect, we can use mosquito repellent, right? We can try, we should try our best to avoid killing. But if that's what it calls for, then
Yeah, I
like,
think that means snake is the only creature which Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati, because he was trying to protect Abhay, like Srila Prabhupada.
right,
So, and he saw from the veranda, like it's mentioned. So that's why he
right,
said, immediately kill it. Yeah. So
yeah.
that's going to take your life away. But I know with the mosquito, it's still okay. You'll just get a little itching and we should try to avoid. So,
Yeah, we
yeah.
can use
Okay.
mosquito repellents, right? Instead of just going around and killing, we can.
Yes, but
Yeah.
sometimes, Mataji, the people put these mosquito repellents just like that outside the house, and the mosquitoes will keep on coming and grr, grr, and then they keep falling down. That's like
Oh,
unnecessary taking somebody's life.
yeah,
I
that's
mean, let
right.
them be free around. And, there was one in our temple, and I was not liking it. There was some new devotee who came, and I wanted to have it removed. Then somehow it was put down. Unless until, it's like you're having an open program and something, they're really disturbing. So in the open, if you put and then you get the karma, you know.
Yeah. But then
Yeah.
there is fear of dengue and all that in India, right?
Yeah, in India is there. Right?
Yeah,
Okay,
I
okay.
was talking to my sister yesterday, and she was telling me about someone in our relatives. They were just itching, like she visited them, and they were complaining that all night they itch, and they're old people. So she went to their bedroom, look at their bed sheets, and there was blood. So she
Mm.
pulled that bed sheet, and there were bed bugs all over. So now in that situation, she ended up calling pest services, because we want to be safe. Like, what if some disease or something, these pests could.
Yes.
So yeah, so we have to take, due diligence to make sure our physical well-being, we are safe.
Yes,
So
Mata.
anything else, or we can move on? Mataji, Shamrasika Mataji, who is next?
Hare Krishna Mataji. Mandini Mataji, you would like to read?
Yeah, sure. Once in a room with many disciples, Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati was speaking, and Abhay listening when an old man beside Abhay motioned to him. As Abhay leaned over to hear what the man wanted, Srila Bhakti Siddhanta suddenly spoke out in annoyance at the two apparently inattentive students. Bapu, he first addressed the old man beside Abhay. Do you think you have purchased me with your 150 rupees per month donation? And then turning to Abhay, why don't you come up here and speak instead of me? Abhay was outwardly mortified, yet he treasured the rebuke. It was it was in a private meeting that Srila Bhakti Siddhanta once told Abhay of the risks he took by preaching so boldly. Srila Prabhupada, my Guru Maharaj's contribution is that he defeated the caste Goswamis. He defeated this Brahmanism. He did it the same way as Chaitanya Mahaprabhu did. As Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said, Kiba Vipra Kiba Nayasi Shudra Kene Naya E Krishna Tattva Veta Si Guru Haya. There is no consideration whether one is a sannyasi, a brahmana, a shudra, or a grihastha. No, anyone who knows the science of Krishna, he is all right. He is Goswami and he is brahmana. But no one else taught that since Lord Chaitanya. This was my Guru Maharaj's contribution, and for this reason, he had to face so many vehement protests from these Brahmana caste Goswamis. Once they conspired to kill him, my Guru Maharaj told me personally, by his grace, when we used to meet alone, he used to talk about so many things. He was so kind that he used to talk with me, and he personally told me that these people, they wanted to kill me. Hare Krishna. Anybody else can read?
Geeta Mataji, would you like to read?
After you, Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Mataji. Amrutamani Mataji, would you like to read? Sandeep Prabhu.
Sure, Mataji. They collected 25,000 rupees and went to bribe the police officer in charge of the area, saying, you take these 25,000 rupees, we shall do something against Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati, and you don't take any steps. He could understand that they wanted to kill him, so police officer frankly came to Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati. Of course, we accept bribes and we indulge in such things, but not for a sadhu and not for a saintly person. I cannot dare. So the police officer refused and said to my Guru Maharaj, "You take care. This is my position." So so vehemently they protested, but he liked the boldness of his boldness in his disciples. I heard of an occasion when one of the Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati's disciples had been very outspoken at public meeting and had denounced the highly regarded Mayavadi monk as a foolish priest. The remark had caused disruption at the meeting, and some of the disciples reported the incident to Srila Bhakti Siddhanta, thinking he would be displeased that his disciple has caused a disturbance. But Srila Bhakti Siddhanta was pleased and remarked he has done well. His displeasure occurred rather when he heard of someone's compromise. Srila Prabhupada, when my Guru Maharaj was present, even big scholars were afraid to talk with even his beginning students. My Guru Maharaj was called living encyclopedia. He could talk with anyone on any subject. He was so learned and no compromise. So-called saints, the avatars, yogis, everyone who was false was an enemy to my Guru Maharaj. He never compromised. Some God brothers complained that this preaching was chopping technique and would not be successful, but those who criticized him fell down. Haribol Mataji.
Avinod Prabhu, would you like to read? Okay. So, Sumati Mataji, Harshita Mataji.
Yes, Mataji. Srila Bhaktisiddhanta was known as the Simha lion girl. One On occasion, when he saw someone he knew to be a proponent of impersonalism, he would call that person over and challenge, "Why are you cheating the people with Mayavadi philosophy?" He would often tell his disciples not to compromise. "Why should you go flatter?" he would say. "You should speak the plain truth without any flattery. Money will come anyway." Whenever Srila Mataji, should I continue?
Yeah, go ahead. Go ahead.
Whenever Srila Bhaktisiddhanta wrote or spoke the Vaishnava philosophy, he was uncompromising. The conclusion was according to the Shastra, and the logic strong. But sometimes Abhay would hear his spiritual master express the eternal teachings in a unique way that Abhay knew he would never forget. "Don't try to see God," Srila Bhaktisiddhanta would say, "but act in such a way that God sees you." Hare Krishna.
Okay, we'll take a pause and we'll go ponder over anything, that stood out to you. Anyone would like to share?
Mataji, in relation to this, there was a story of a blind person, the last line, but act in such a way that God sees you. So every time he came, so people in the temple around used to make fun of him. Hey, you're blind, you can't even see anything. Why you, coming here? What is the point? You're coming here, you can't see and all that. There was
Right.
so much in bodily concept. But then the answer he gave was, he said that I have not come to see the Lord. I want the Lord should see me. I've come so the Lord, I think, yeah, the Lord, I've come here because then the Lord can see me and, like be merciful on me. And मेरा तो वो नहीं है कि मैं आके देखूंगा, Lord को. But I've
Mm.
come to the Lord, like he had so much faith in Lord that once I go to the temple, the Lord in the form of the deities will come and see me. But the
Right.
other person had no faith and was making fun, and materialistic people are like that. So this reminded me, this line, this story of the blind person was not actually blind. He was more enlightened than the person who had eyes. Yes, Mataji. Thank you, Hare Krishna.
Someone had told me that, like, or in one class I heard. So when we go to temple, we say we are going to take darshan. So we
Ah,
should go with a mindset that Krishna is gonna see me, and
yes.
we bring that, we carry that mindset all week long, that every minute Krishna is watching me. So whatever I do, even my thoughts are being watched, and Krishna is, he is witness to everything.
Very
So
nice. Yeah, nice addition, Mataji. You're right. Because sometimes, we slacken and say, why go to the temple? But
mm,
then, it is actually, Krishna's happy. For Krishna's happiness, we dress. For Krishna's happiness, we are nowadays, there is Chandan, they're doing and here there's so much of manpower that all
right,
the ladies especially do this, they're like, just wash your hands and giso the Chandan, which is being applied every day to deities. So for the pleasure of the Lord. So it's all Krishna and Lord centered, situation. The temples here in India. Yes,
yeah, for
Mataji.
me, what I do, Mataji, all week long, I'm like, we don't we can't we feel Krishna, right? We know Krishna is watching, but weekends or whenever we go to the temple, that is my opportunity to actually also see God, right? So this is the
Mhm.
beautiful Lord who is watching me, like he's always there with me, but I can't see his presence, I feel his presence. But now temple is an opportunity where he comes in such a, like, glamorous and uh, opulent form, where I can actually see the Lord. I can even see Him, right? Because with Prabhupada's mercy, we have these temples, and all the devotees, they are working so hard from early morning. They start dressing Krishna, and especially, like, mostly we go early mornings, and I love that first darshan at 7:20. Where, oh,
Yes, Mataji, also I add one more thing. After coming into Krishna conscious, I realized if two things were not given by Srila Prabhupada in our Hare Krishna movement, one is the deities and other is the holy name, then
mm,
where we would have been.
right,
Like, I mean, we go to Hindu temple, no chanting is going on there. Of course, there are deities there too. But I don't know whether there's pran pratiksha or, how is the reciprocation, like Lord Jagannath reciprocates in different ways even
right,
today's day, and of course, these days, any person, who's left a job, makes a small temple, has some students coming in and have the DT set up. We don't know whether it's bona fide. But
right.
what Prabhupada has given us. And just imagine like going into a building and the deities are gone and the holy name is not there. Everything finished, you know. So two things are so important. Some people come just to hear the kirtan, you know. They're more inclined to the hearing than even the deities.
Right.
So both, I think, very important. Yeah.
Yeah. Like I grew up in a very religious, spiritual family, Mataji. But first time when I went on yatra with my younger brother, what I heard, the things that I heard from him, they were transforming. First thing he told me when we began, he said, Didi, don't try to take, like, enjoy this yatra or see the Lord with your eyes. You are gonna hear the Lord's names. When you go to Dham and you try to, just relish everything with your eyes, and places, especially places like Vrindavan, where there is open drainage and this, you are not gonna feel presence of Krishna. Focus your attention on what sadhus are speaking. So you take darshan through your ears. If you go to Dham and if you just walk around, go to this temple, that temple, that is not yatra. Wherever you go, you should seek sadhus and you should take some nectar in your ears. That is real yatra. Sometimes we just go around and we want to visit 15 temples in one day. But there is no, we are not listening to any katha and we are just, relishing. So that was one thing that really stayed with me.
Yeah, and your brother said exactly what Srila Prabhupada said. Don't try to see Krishna, hear Krishna.
Yeah.
Don't try to see Krishna. Thank you for sharing that, Mataji.
Yeah. Thank you, Mataji. Anyone else has anything? All right, we can go on reading. Who's next, Mataji?
Hare Krishna. Nikunjaras Prabhu, would you like to read?
It is from Srila Bhaktivedanta Saraswati.
Yes, Prabhu.
Okay. Hare Krishna. Srila Bhaktisiddhanta condemned temple proprietors who made a business of showing the deity for a living. To be a sweeper in the street was more honorable, he said. He coined a Bengali phrase, Shalagram Dwaraha Badham Bhanga. Bhanga. The priests are taking the Shaligram deity as a stone for cracking nuts. In other words, if a person shows the Shaligram form of the Lord or any form of the deity simply with a view to make money, then he is seeing the deity not as the Lord but as a stone, but a means for earning his livelihood. Abhay had the opportunity to see his spiritual master deal with the nationalist Subhash Chandra Bose, who had been Abhay's schoolmate at Scottish Church College. Bose had come in a somewhat critical mood, concerned about Srila Bhaktisiddhanta's recruiting young men into religious life. Srila Prabhupada, Subhash Chandra Bose came to my Guru Maharaj and said, "So many people you have captured, they are doing nothing for nationalism." My Guru Maharaj replied, "Well, for your national propaganda, you require very strong men, but these people are very weak. You can see they are very skinny, so don't put your glance upon them. Let them eat something and chant Hare Krishna." In this way, he avoided him. Srila Bhaktisiddhanta used to say that when the day came with when High Court judges were devotees of Krishna with Vaishnava tilak on their foreheads, then he would know that the mission of spreading Krishna consciousness was becoming successful. He said that Jesus Christ was a Satyavesha Avtara, as an empowered incarnation of God. He can
it be otherwise? How can it be otherwise? He said. He sacrificed everything for God. In his scholarly language, he declared, the materialistic demeanor cannot possibly stretch to the transcendental autocrat, but sometimes in speech he phrased it in a more down to earth way. The mundane scholars who are trying to understand the Supreme Lord by their senses and mental speculations are like a person trying to taste the honey in the bottle by licking the outside of the bottle. Philosophy without religion, he said, is drawing speculations, and religion without philosophy is sentiment and sometimes fanatism.
Yeah, this is a very important point, right, Prabhu?
Yes,
Like Prabhupada
very.
quoted it at so many places. Philosophy without religion, he said, is dry speculation, and religion without philosophy is sentiment and sometimes
Yes,
fun.
yes. Someone can read now. Yeah.
Hare
Yes,
Krishna.
Mata.
Thank you, Prabhuji.
Thank you.
Nitya Radha Mataji, would you like to read from Abhay Sadat?
I
No,
can read.
Mataji. Srila Bhakti Siddhanta said.
Oh, sorry. Nitya Radha Mataji, would you like to read?
Yes, Mataji, I can read. Hare Krishna.
Nitya Mataji, please go ahead.
Srila Bhaktisiddhanta said that the whole world was simply a society of cheaters and cheated. He gave the example that loose women often visit certain holy places in India with the idea of seducing the sadhus, thinking that to have a child by a sadhu is prestigious. And immoral men dress themselves as sadhus, hoping to be seduced by the cheating women. His conclusion: a person should aspire to leave the material world and go back to Godhead because this material world is not a fit place for a gentleman. Abhay saw that when disciples asked his spiritual master about something in the future, he never replied, "Yes, it is going to happen," or "Yes, we are going to do it." Rather, he would say, "Yes, if Krishna desires, it may be." Although in his younger years he had been an astrologer and able to predict the future, he had given it up. Should I continue, Mataji?
Yes, Mataji. One or two paragraphs more.
Thank you, Mataji. Srila Bhaktisiddhanta was a lifetime brahmachari and was very strict about avoiding association with women. Once Abhay was sitting with his spiritual master when another disciple was present, along with his younger wife. The wife asked Srila Bhaktisiddhanta if she might speak with him privately, but he replied, "No, whatsoever it is, you can ask here. I cannot see you in private." Abhay was impressed by this, since Srila Bhaktisiddhanta was in his 60s and the girl could have been his granddaughter. Regardless, he would not speak with any woman alone. Srila Bhaktisiddhanta liked to make his disciples into sannyasis, but one day one of his sannyas disciples was forcibly dragged away by his wife. In tears, Srila Bhaktisiddhanta lamented that he was unable to save that soul. Yet he did not speak disparagingly of Krishna conscious family life. "I would have sex hundreds of times if I thought that I could raise Krishna conscious children." I think that's good, Mataji.
Yes, Mataji. Thank you so
Hare
much.
Krishna, Hare Krishna.
So I see Preeti Mataji. Would you like to read, Preeti Mataji?
Sure, Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Mataji.
It's from He Would Send, right, Mataji?
Yes.
Okay. He would send his brahmacharis out to sell the Gaudiya Math magazine and books, and even if a brahmachari were able to sell only one or two, it would please him very much, and he would exclaim, "You're so nice." In considering whether essays were worthy for publication, he would count how many times the word Krishna or Chaitanya had been used. If these holy names had been quoted sufficiently, he would say, "That's all right, this can be used." He would say in Bengali, "Pran ache yar se hetu prachar." A person who must have life to be a preacher. A dead man cannot preach. When some of his preachers who had gone to chant and speak reported that no one had attended their meeting, Srila Bhaktisiddhanta replied, "That doesn't matter. The four walls will hear you. That is sufficient. Don't be disappointed. Go on chanting." And in commenting on the fact that some of his disciples had fallen away, some of the soldiers will die, he said.
Oh.
Should I continue, Mataji?
Yes, Mataji, one or two paragraphs.
Yeah. But he did not want his disciples to lead an easygoing life. He once criticized a disciple as being ease loving, nor should they attempt to practice austerities in seclusion. He would sing a song of his own composition, Dushtamana Thumi Kisera Vaishnava. My dear mind, what kind of Vaishnava are you? You are chanting Hare Krishna in a solitary place, imitating the great saints Haridas Thakur and Rupa Goswami, but your meditation is actually to think of women and money. Your mind is filled with such dirty things, so your bhajan is simply cheating. He thought that if a devotee gave up his preaching in the city in favor of solitary meditation,
Sorry, Mataji.
yeah, that was a method of cheating by imitating the great saints in hopes of getting cheap adoration from others. Therefore, Srila Bhaktisiddhanta never liked to open a branch of the Gaudiya Mutt in a place that was not very much populated. Abhay went on listening to his spiritual master at every opportunity, but rarely did Abhay put a philosophical inquiry before him. He preferred simply to listen. Srila Prabhupada, I never asked my spiritual master a question except one: how shall I serve you?
Wow. Any points thank you so much, Mataji, for wonderful reading. Any points that stood out to anyone? Anything that you would like to share?
Hare Krishna Mataji. Yeah, I just wanted to share when earlier Mataji said, like, when compared to other temples, like we have Harinam and deities, but along with that, as Prabhupada is saying here, the service mentality is like so much in the ISKCON consciousness that makes our heart so humble. And like all the anarthas of ego, envy, so that association, being amongst the people, and working on our all that things that we hold up, right? Yesterday, Prabhuji was saying, Krishna doesn't want something that you give, but Krishna wants something that you hold on. So, like, the association is a place where we should work on all these things that we hold on, like the ego and yeah, the main thing, the ego. So yeah, that serving thing is the biggest boon that Prabhupada gave us to do in the community and work on our contemplation and be a better person. So yeah.
So true, Mataji. And I think a class on Thursday or Wednesday, Mataji gave class on Nitya Harinam Sangha, and I was like, literally, at that one point struck me. She said, "We say that we do service." She went a step beyond that. She said that instead of saying, I'm I'm serving you like this. Can someone remind me? There was one point that Mataji spoke, and that was towards the end. She said, I do this for you, Krishna, I do this for you. But instead of that, we should develop a mindset that
Thanks for giving me the opportunity to serve you. Something
no,
like that.
no, not that. She said something so nicely. She said, this is all yours and you are making me something like that. She put it in such a nice way that even the services that we do, we are not doing them actually. It's Krishna
Yeah.
who is, yeah,
She said,
something.
thank you
I'm
for
not,
using me as an instrument.
yeah, right, something like that. It was extremely powerful, and I have written it somewhere, so I don't have it handy. But yes, Mataji, we develop all these higher virtues, and it's like we are even a small surface of our heart is being scratched when we are around devotees and when we listen to Shastra. That's so true. You made a very good point.
So I would like to go back to that previous paragraph and I wanted to understand if you go up a little bit. Yeah, I think, yeah, this part. He did not want his disciples to lead easygoing life once criticized as easy loving. What is this mean? It's like uh,
Uh, I think he's
Krishna.
just talking about devotees who are like they just chant and then they are done. They don't want to engage in any, they just want to take everything easy. Probably, I think personally that's what he's addressing here. Like people who just want, they don't want to go out of their comfort zone. They just want.
Okay,
That's what I think is about.
okay.
Nikunjaraj Prabhu
I
or
think I
anyone
gave
else,
him
Rupini Mataji, if you would like to shed any light. I think that's what he means here. Yes.
Mataji, I missed the little reading. There was a bell call. What did you say, Mataji?
Yeah, actually, Sandeep Prabhu just mentioned like he's trying to, if you look at the shared screen, he's asking about Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati talking about his disciples as being ease loving and nor should they attempt to practice austerities in seclusion. So he's just trying to say, like, what does he mean by ease loving? So I was saying that probably he means people who don't want to come out of their comfort zone. They just want to, I did my rounds, and I think that's all I can do. So he's just trying to push his devotees to, perform different services and engage in temple and other activities in the community. That's what
Yeah,
my take.
yeah. We hear from Srila Prabhupada, he says, don't even waste a minute in your life. So, don't even waste a minute in your life. So that's like basically, we can't just let the life go easy. We have our family responsibilities. We have to do chanting, reading, preaching. So it's like, I think one time somebody was asking Prabhupada that, there's roaming around like that. And in the streets, they're distributing books. So Prabhupada said, you come one time and join the temple, and then you will see. Their life starts at like 3:30, 4 a.m. in the morning. And till 10 o'clock, everybody's busy. There's no ease.
Yeah.
And, they're busy, engrossed, and happy. So, yeah, in that context, I'm just thinking. And ease loving, like, yes, Mataji.
Yeah, and I think Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati was known as a lion guru. There was no flattering in his preaching. He was like, we saw that in previous verses where he openly told someone that you have not purchased me for 150 rupees. Just because you gave that donation doesn't mean you can just come here and do whatever you like. He was a lion guru, so upfront his instructions were clear, terse. Whatever he wanted to say, he would just say it. And yeah, Krishna was the center of everything. Like
And I,
even
yeah.
right, even the publications, he would choose the publications that had most times used Krishna and Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's names. So yeah, his it was Krishna centered preaching
And
practice.
also, Mataji, even Srila Prabhupada followed that mood. He
Yeah,
was also very much, following the mood of his Guru Maharaj.
yeah,
And one thing is so wonderful to read is like now I feel that the Guru Maharaj is resting in the heart of Srila Prabhupada. He's all
yeah.
the time thinking about him, wants to meet him.
Hmm.
Like earlier it was like once or twice he met, he was busy in his life. But now it's like, slowly I think it'll be more and more and more. Even if Guru Maharaj will not be there in the physical body, he'll be still, carrying on the mission. That'll be very interesting to read further. Yeah.
Right. And like Prabhupada had no questions for his Guru Maharaj. That was such a strong point. Like he never questioned any, like whatever Guru Maharaj was speaking, he would just take in. He was just drinking that nectar through his ears. Never questioned anything. He has that faith he had in his Guru Maharaj. So yeah. These are all
Yes, ma'am.
empowered souls. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. Can we have 5 minutes, Mataji? Today I have temple service. So I need to be heading out at 8:15, 8:20. So
So yes, thank
we can
you
either
so
read
much.
or we can, yeah, just
We
discuss.
can, yeah, we can have any question or comment. Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you, Preeti Mataji, for reading so nicely. Nothing, you joined first time, right?
Sorry, Hare Krishna Mataji.
Yeah. Did you join first time today?
I was joining from 2 days, Mataji. Raghunandan Prabhuji class, you shared, right, Mataji?
Okay,
From
thank you. So let us welcome Mataji by
yeah,
Thank
thank you,
Haribol.
Mataji.
Hey,
Bol, Hari Bol,
Haribol.
Hari Bol.
Haribol.
Hare Krishna, thank you so much.
Haribol.
Haribol.
Yeah, this class every day, Monday to Friday we have Bhagavatam, Srimad Bhagavatam, and then Saturday we have Bhagavad Gita, and Sunday Srila Prabhupada Lilamrit reading. So please join every day, Mataji.
Sure, Mataji. Thank you so
Yes.
much.
Who's the Mataji who joined? What's your name, Mataji?
Preeti.
Preeti Mataji.
Preeti.
Yeah.
Okay, very sweet
She's
voice,
from
Mataji.
Virginia, right? Not in Virginia.
Yeah.
Yeah, thank you, Mataji. Hare Krishna.
And Raghunandan is Grace Raghunandan Prabhu introduced her this call, so she joined in. Yeah.
No, actually, it's Ramurari Das Prabhuji, Mataji.
Okay, Ramurai.
Yeah.
That's nice. Thank you, Mataji.
Yeah, thank you, Mataji. Hare Krishna.
So
Join us, Mataji. Nice to hear you. Yeah.
we can stop here, PremNandini Mataji, and then we can have a question answer session. If anybody has any question or comment, they can ask.
yeah, or anything that stood out to you.
They want to share. Yeah.
Yeah, anything that you would like to share.
Hare Krishna Mataji, just wanted to share one more thing. When you were saying that ease of, we need to take off that ease. So when I was hearing the class few days back, so in that Prabhuji was saying in the Rasalila dance, before the Rasalila, so the gopis used to prepare for the dance, like they voluntarily go and practice dance on thorns. They go voluntarily practice dance in the rain or slippery surfaces, so that when they actually participate in the rasa dance, they doesn't uh, get interrupted with all these things. So in the same way in our life, we should, if we want to join or go into that rasa bhav, we need to actually able to uh, take all the challenges in our life, like day before yesterday Prabhuji was saying, we should go, a good sailor means he should go to the opposite of the winds. So like when we prepare our mind, surrender our mind, and depend on Krishna, then like we'll be able to face those challenges, and then that ease of think, like we'll cross that barrier, and then we can reach what we are meant to reach. So the service to the lotus feet of Lord, like we can do only like when we accept whatever challenges, like how the gopis used to prepare to get into the rasa dance. So yeah, I felt that connected to that ease part, Mataji.
Yes, Mataji, that was such a wonderful point you made. All the reversals that we face in our life, we should, yeah, that's such a nice mood. Thank you, Mataji. Appreciate that.
Thank you, Mataji. It's really a good point.
Sorry, Mataji, if I'm not able to say so. Thank you. Like my son suddenly will come and yeah. Hare
That's
Krishna.
fine. Thank you so much. You made such a wonderful point. Yeah, really appreciate.
Also, Mataji can join regularly and also share such wisdom because she's hearing
Yes,
other speakers and so nicely she spoke. Preeti Mataji, right?
yes.
Yes, Mataji. Yes, Mataji.
This was
Yeah.
Preeti Mataji, okay, who read also and spoke also. Nice. We can only connect with each other through voice, Mataji.
Yes, Mataji. And after the COVID, like this is a boon for us, like to
Oh,
get
yeah.
associated with everyone and yeah, share the nectar and
But
wisdom.
Mataji, we have been really fortunate that much before the COVID, 10 years plus, we have been on the call. So COVID was added a set because then we were still connected. But then this call has been going on for many, many years, Mataji.
Almost
That's why
17,
we,
18 years, Mataji.
yes, and that's why we have to reach Canto 8. Is that right? 8 Canto we are doing. Yeah. Thank you so much,
That's
Mataji.
very nice, Mataji. Yeah. Hare Krishna.
I really feel that I mean this book it's a Leela Amrita book, but actually I am learning a lot about Prabhupada's Guru Maharaj Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur's like how how brilliant he was and how bold he was and Really nice. I mean, now I can understand why Prabhupada was so strong. He was like well trained with his by his Guru Maharaj.
So,
Yes.
Mataji, so
I totally align with you, Sandeep Prabhu. You're right. I mean, so much to learn. We normally hear about, appearance day, disappearance day of Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati, but here it's like, we're seeing the mood, how he came and killed the snake, and then so many other things. We feel that his Guru Maharaj is alive in front of us because of the reading. Yeah, very true.
Yeah, it's very true. I mean, I'm learning a lot about Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Guru Maharaj, and what I'm hearing now is he also Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Maharaj also went through a lot of troubles, just like Prabhupada, in a different types of troubles, and he came out. I mean, he kept on his religious practices and preaching. That's very impressive.
True, true, Prabhu. Yeah.
So the previous, I just wanted to share this. The previous passages says that Srila Bhakti Siddhanta was called as the lion, and also like his knowledge, anybody could talk with him on any subject. His knowledge was like terrific. So which shows that he had all the qualities of a perfect guru or a Maharaj, and no wonder Srila Prabhupada was like always like a listener to him, trying to absorb whatever he is saying. Maybe his talks were so powerful that he could capture the mind of people. So that was what I felt. So I mean, he was like really a great person
Yeah.
with his great knowledge. Yeah.
Yeah. And because of his knowledge, Prabhupada was able to do what he did, right?
Yeah. So,
Yeah, it was all mercy of Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati, his Guru Maharaj.
so he was like a different person, like, no, with some divine power, no? It is, yeah.
And in Srila Prabhupada's dealings and personality, we see Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur. Right?
Okay.
Yeah.
Yes,
Thank you,
Mataji.
Mataji.
I also agree. Sandeep Prabhu, what said, like, uh, we must even read about Srila Prabhupada's Guru, Bhakti Saraswati Thakur. Yeah, that's a good point, Sandeep Prabhu, you made. And also, Mataji, you mentioned about Prabhupada never asked questions to his Guru Maharaj. So that was another, austere and humbleness, we can say. Even if you have a question, then try to get those answers. But, asking directly to Guru Maharaj in that way, like maybe what was the point? But I just like whatever it was said. Uh, yeah, Hare Krishna.
All right, I think thank you so much, Prabhu, and thank you everyone for your wonderful reading, wonderful sharing, questions. Really appreciate everything, and thank you for tolerating me. So I think we should stop here.
Thank you so much for being in leading this group for the Prabhupada reading. And you were so busy in temple today, and you and Sandeep Prabhu, you did Srila Prabhupada's addressing service from 5:30, and then we have some time. And in meanwhile, you took charge, and then you guided us about the reading and sharing so many points. It's explaining so nicely. So thank you so much, Mataji, for your time, and we are so fortunate to have you. So if nobody has any question or comment, we can let you go. Yeah, let's pray.
Yeah.
To all the Vaishnavas, Vancha, Kalpatarvasha, Krupachandravaccha, Patitanam, Pavanityo, Vaishnavyo Namo Namaha.
Ananda
Ananta Vaishnava ki
Bhakti
jai,
Yeah.
Jai Shri ठाकुर की जय,
Yeah.
Yeah,
प्रभुपाद की जय, श्री
Yeah.
प्रभुपाद अमृत की
all
जय,
the assembled
yeah,
devotees ki
हरे
jai.
कृष्ण माता जी
Hare
Thank you,
जय,
Yeah,
Mataji.
yeah.
yeah.
हरि
Yeah.
बोल, हरि बोल,
Dandavat
हरि
pranam.
बोल.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Bol, Hare Bol, Hare.